Hi everybody, happy Fun Fact Friday. So this week, we're gonna talk about the different parts of a drum. So you've all seen them. Drums, you've all seen them. So now I'm gonna break down the different things that are involved in a drum. So I have with me here my piccolo snare drum, as you can see. And if you remember, I think it was my first Fun Fact Friday, we talked about what makes a snare drum. And that is these on the back, the snare wires. There's a lot of components to a snare drum, though, that you'll see in every drum. So let's start with the base, which is the shell. That's what it's called, right? And the shells can be made of a bunch of different types of materials. Mostly wood with like a veneer around it. Sometimes you get natural wood, so there it is, just wood, stained or whatever. Plastic, metal, all different types of shells, right? But that's your base. And then what you have here, now here's the thing. These parts and these parts, I've heard people call this the lug and this the tension rod, and I've heard people call this the lug and this the tension rod. So I think it might just be a whatever you want it to be. What I like to do is I like to call this the lug and this the tension rod normally. This drum doesn't look like it as much because it's more of like a nub, but besides the point is these are what hold these in place, and that's how you tune your drum, how you tighten the head. So we have a top head, which is usually a bit of a harder head. It's very, if you were to feel this, you could feel that this is stronger than the bottom head, which is usually a bit finer and usually clear, almost always clear. It needs to get that snare to sizzle on it, right? So top head, bottom head, rims attached to the shell, and that's what keeps the head down. If you look under here, this little metal rim that's running around the outside, that's actually the drum head. And that's what the rim is holding down to pull it. So what we use are drum keys to sit in there, and we turn them, and that's how you tune a drum. Often when I tune, I put a wallet on the top to kind of dampen the sound, and I just tap around, and you actually listen for matching pitch. So you kind of tune a drum like an instrument. Shocker. And then on snare drums, oh, this is important too. This is the air vent. So when you hit this, it's going to, there's air in there, and it needs to go somewhere, right? When you press that. So that's where it comes out. So if you're playing the drums and you put like someone's hair there, you can see their hair go like when you play because it spits out air, which is kind of exciting. And then the parts of the snare drum, the thing that separates a snare drum from a actual drum, a tom or a bass drum or any other type of drum, is these three parts here. The throw off, which adjusts the tension of the snare drum, or the snare wires I should say, off and on. And then the part that connects it on the other side, which is called the butt plate. That's fun. So there's your butt plate, and that's what attaches the snare wires. So there you have it. There is a drum. Shell, head, head, rim, rim, tension rod, lug, butt plate, snare wire, throw off. There's all the fun terms for a drum. That was exhausting. Man, I'm out of breath from that. All right, I will see you all next week, and stay tuned this weekend for another Embarrassing Stories podcast. Okay, the last one was hilarious, so this one's going to be just as funny. All right, I will see you there. I'll hear you there. You'll hear me there. You'll hear me there. Okay, bye.